Joe Biden's chances of surviving his first term are below 80%. The increasingly frail and gaffe-prone former vice president is obviously nowhere near as sharp as he once was, but the far-left Politico still ran with the headline "Why Fears About Biden's Age Are Overblown" that features a photo of Biden running towards the camera. Democrats sure got it good. Hey, are you gonna believe Politico or your lying eyes? Here's how the fake news outlet opens its propaganda, by dismissing the fact that Biden suffered 2 separate brain aneurysms in 1988, just like Politico would if Biden were a Republican. Joe Biden was lying on the operating table and about to get surgery for his second brain aneurysm when the doctor told him he might not recover. "What's the most likely thing that will happen if I live?" Biden asked him. "Well," the doctor replied, "the side of the brain that the first aneurysm is on controls your ability to speak." That's when the gaffe-prone Biden thought to himself, "Why in the hell didn't they tell me this before the '88 campaign? It could have saved us all a lot of trouble, you know what I mean?" That joke, which Biden told in a speech in 2013, has taken on new relevance now that he's on the campaign trail for president again and facing questions about his gaffes. Though Biden has had a long-standing reputation for verbal flubs, they're now inextricably linked to the 76-year-old's age. Yes, the very same Politico that told us in 2008 that Republican John McCain's age, he was 71 when he ran against Politico's precious Barack Obama, was a legitimate issue and presents his campaign a problem, and it is a disservice to try to sweep it under the table and pretend like he is just another middle-aged white Republican male running for president is now wrist-flicking, brain aneurysms and a never-growing pile of troubling gaffes, according to Politico's own experts, one of whom actually said that Biden is every bit as sharp as he was 31 years ago. The Democrat frontrunner's chances of surviving his first term are just 79%. Other than Warren, who is 71 years old, it is Trump who has the best chance of surviving the next 4 years, 85%, while Bernie's chances are 77%, which means there's nearly a 1 in 4 chance Bernie won't make it. But there's a 1 in 5 chance Biden won't, either. Politico also spoke with a medical expert who said, because he has not examined Biden, he won't comment on any of this, and then got all commentator with more proof that our eyes and ears are big, fat liars. When you hear somebody on TV and they make a mistake during a speech or a debate, you've got to cut them some slack, Olshansky said. If you've ever given a speech, it's not easy standing in front of a crowd of people, especially standing in front of television cameras with millions of people watching, and avoiding verbal mistakes. Obviously, this is true, but there are times, and they are more frequent now than ever, where Biden doesn't remember who's who or where he was. Oddly enough, though, the far-left Politico doesn't ask these specialists to talk about what it might mean when a 76-year-old man is confused about his own whereabouts. Hey, it might mean nothing, but it's obvious Politico didn't want to go there because it was afraid of the answer. Here's another favorite moment. Biden's physician, Drive, Kevin O'Connor, said in a written statement provided by the campaign that Vice President Biden is in excellent physical condition. He is more than capable of handling the rigors of the campaign and the office for which he is running. Okay, but then why isn't he, why isn't he doing exactly that, handling the rigors of the campaign? Where exactly is this vigorous Joe Biden? Because he's sure as hell not on the campaign trail all that much. Last I heard he was in the Virgin Islands for a couple of weeks, even as his lead in Iowa disappears. And here's my all-time favorite. One of Politico's experts is Drive. Hot take of the anti-Trump resistance. Biden's former brain surgeon, Castle, went a step further. I am going to vote for the candidate who I am absolutely certain has a brain that is functioning, and that narrows it down exactly to 1. Oh, look, Politico's super serious, pro-science experts are being all super serious and pro-science. What a shine job this garbage report is, there's no science or expertise here. It's a total whitewash of the Joe Biden we all see before our very eyes, a man in obvious decline who appears to spend more time in front of the TV watching Matlock than he does in Iowa, a guy who's so afraid of his own gaffes, he's hiding out, and what does life expectancy have to do with mental acuity? That's another question Politico is afraid to ask. Let's call that fake news by omission. Ronald Reagan lived to age 93, so he had an amazing life expectancy, but with all due respect to the Gipper, does anyone think he was in any shape to be president after age 80? Biden will be just a few days short of 78 if he's sworn in as president next November, and already he cannot remember what Joe 30,330 means, where he was last year during a national tragedy, or who Britain's prime minister is. I've actually been present when people are given tests for their cognitive ability, and a common question is who our current leaders are. But, like many Americans, I have my own simple standard when it comes to these things, and that is to ask myself how I would feel if Biden were my own father. My dad just turned 80, my mother is 75, and both are as sharp as they've ever been. But if I was watching them, even in front of a crowd, getting confused over dates, not remembering where they were during the Parkland shooting, unable to grasp the difference between a text and a website, and on 2 occasions identify Margaret Thatcher as England's Prime Minister, all of Politico's experts and all of Politico's left-wing spin could not remove the cold ball of fear in the pit of my stomach. Follow John Nolte on Twitter at NolteNC. Follow his Facebook page here. Let's block ads. Why?